that intro is probably going to be the most exciting part of this video. The rest of this video, there might be some stuff on screen as I talk about it. So if you choose to be a dirty rat for the UC Systems dev, so the Crimson Fleet has lost the key. Shinya Voss may or may not be dead. I think their first move is to eliminate Neva Mora, because this is the second time she's infiltrated a rat into Crimson Fleet, or a mole. So first thing I think happens is they do away with her, because just as suspicion alone, she's the only one that escaped the key. Delgado's dead. Everyone else is presumed dead and captured. And so is that the end for the Crimson Fleet? No, I think it's not. And here's just my thoughts behind it. Yeah, that was a central hub, but it also made a central hub that was an easy target for the UC SysDef, right? And it was like the central raiding point, and people could have, you know, from that deduced where they were raiding from. But now with the key gone, the Crimson Fleet can essentially move at will. I'm gonna compare this to like the horse archers of Genghis Khan. So now you have the Crimson Fleet, although they've lost the key and a considerable amount of economic credits and that space station, the key. However, now they can just roam and hit at will without no central base. It's almost a little bit better. It may be worse for a while, but with that also, you have, I think, Neva Mora's directive. If you find it in game, it mentions something along the lines of like finding old star bases or abandoned outposts. So now you've the UC SysDef having one location where they were kind of oriented, grouping around and raiding from. Now you have the potential worse threat of now multiple worlds in the settled systems being outposts and bases for the Crimson Fleet. And to find those and to know where they're all out is going to be a real head scratcher. And now that the main heads of the Crimson Fleet are gone, annihilated and captured, you can damn well bet that most of them aren't going to let themselves be captured from here on out. So the UC SysDef, yeah, you got the Chris' legacy. Whoa, yeah. Now things have gotten worse. With that, I think the Crimson Fleet starts reconsolidating. Now with all these other worlds that they have, they can start mining those for resources. And of course, in Starfield, when there's planets with uranium, plutonium, helium-3, and all kinds of fun little stuff you can make ordinances out of, if you get my drift. So there's plenty of ways with a little bit of brain power that the Crimson Fleet can maybe even develop and utilize nuclear weapons. That's what I would do, because if all gloves are off and we've lost the key and our lead people, we're gonna start playing dirty. And not only that, with all the ships, ship debris. The one easiest weapon that the Crimson Fleet could utilize against UC SysDef or literally anyone else is, you take a meteor, you slap some rockets on that, you have a way to guide it or put it on a path, and of course you could probably calculate this. So you have a big ass asteroid with the engine on it, some boosters, and you just aim that at Jemison or a vital target of the UC SysDef, have it go full throttle, and there you go. And not only that, you could probably see, this is where the show The Expanse had this amazing idea that the OPA were doing, where they stealth coded a whole bunch of asteroids, and they put engines on them, like retro rockets and stuff. So they started using them against the Martian Navy and the United Nations. So they had all these stealth that it would blow up, right? But it's coded in stealth, coating, maybe a metal or some kind of like paint, and it just shreds entire like ships. So I don't think that the Crimson Fleet wouldn't stoop to that level. So the Crimson Fleet, in my opinion, to the lore, even if you become a dirty rat mole piece of shit, the Crimson Fleet definitely has a way of still hurting every other place in the settled system. And not only that, with Delgado out, Navalmora out, they could resort to more drastic tactics and more ruthless measures. And without anyone to rein them in, you could have Crimson Fleet doing all kinds of like heinous stuff. Of course, in the lore, there's like xeno weapons technology that they could probably utilize against the Freestar Collective or UC SysDef or the United Colonies. So the ceiling's the limit with the Crimson Fleet, technically. And I think with a little bit of lore, I think Bethesda could come up with some pretty freaking cool expansions to that, if they choose to do that. Because if they still have Navalmora like at large, I think they do plan on doing some expansion pack stuff like that, which would be cool to see the Crimson Fleet come back and whip everyone's ass and make them a bigger threat than anyone else. That would be some cool DLC, if you ask me. But other than that, the Crimson Fleet, the loss of the key and the founding members and people, that's only going to motivate the Crimson Fleet to rebel and resist more. UC SysDef thinks they really got, we defeat those damn dirty pirates. No, you've only made it worse, my friend. So with that, that's just my, collective ideas on that. I'm trying to think. And on that, I would like, if they do come out with a cool DLC, another thing I see happening is that the Crimson Fleet makes a Defiance equivalent. Is that what's the name of the ship? One second. Because I think the UC SysDef have, the Vigilance. Right? It's this big fucking capital ship. I would like to see the Crimson Fleet, and they probably could create their own capital ship. That would be legendary. Make it twice the size of UC Vigilance. Call it the Defiance, or some equally cooler name. You could have launch ships, even so have like a carrier, a Crimson Fleet aircraft carrier that launches ships. Come on. And that's the one kind of ship variant that hasn't really been put in Starfield, is a carrier class kind of ship. I don't know how they would do that, but it would be cool. You could have crew. You could staff the fighters with your crew. That would be cool. Or you just have it like drone operated, like it launches drones. And that's another avenue that the Crimson Fleet can get into, is just launch a shitload of drones with some like kamikaze drones. See, so now we're getting a little bit into what's happening in our world, where they adopt drone warfare, but space drone warfare. You could have them set up with some like hypersonic engine, or what if they start using grav drives as weapons? Now we're thinking with a malevolent mind. You get someone desperate enough, or you have it to where it can be remote and like fired. So now you can have a grav drive, a ship with a whole bunch of ordnance and like shit in it. You set the location for Jameson, right, or Aquila, and then you have it grav jump. You have it set with a whole bunch of radioactive shit, so it disrupts communications. So nuclear materials to disrupt satellites and communications. That's how they could cut off worlds and fleets, and then raid worlds and fleets. Now we're cooking with gas. So that's the way how I think Crimson Fleet, they would only just become more not only desperate, dangerous, but more creative in the way that they conduct their business. But that whole grav drive idea opens up a lot of avenues as far as diabolical stuff. I wonder too if in the Starfield universe, I know other sci-fi groups have done this to where they set their hyperdrive, whatever, to explode. I'm trying to think what sci-fi series. I think Stargate Atlantis and Stargate, the original, they would have it to where they could teleport a bomb to a ship's grav drive or hyperdrive, and then they would blow it up inside the ship. I think Halo even had it to where they could detonate a hyperspace bomb. So essentially, it just goes off and then warps part of the ship to somewhere else. So I believe Crimson Fleet has a avenue for absolute just diabolical stuff, and that's why you see SysDef and the United Colonies. It's not exactly a big win that they've took out the key. You've only made it essentially more dangerous, and you made the Crimson Fleet more desperate. So if your character does go on with that, it's not really the bright ending you really think. But anyways, that's just my theory on it and how the Crimson Fleet would react and some of the stuff they would do. That grav drive idea is just disgustingly genius idea. And not only that, you could do, I know what I'd do to be an absolute pain in the ass if I was like a Crimson Fleet baddie. I would take I would harvest a shitload of heat leeches, and I just unleash them at every starport, every shipping place in the Free Star Collective or United Colonies. A whole bunch of heat leeches eating people's shit, and then you do research. You find a way to get them all souped up and roided up like heat leeches. Of course, there's another lore if you know, you know that what heat leeches turn into is also a bonus there. So, and I think heat leeches in the lore can also feed off people. So they're a invasive predatory species that you can also weaponize. So that's just my 2 cents and me throwing some ideas out there. It's how the Crimson Fleet could still be a nuisance and still be a viable threat even after the loss of the key. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, share your own comments down below, subscribe, and of course, to get some grifts in, there's some links in the description down below. If you want to support this channel through financials, donations, cool, but if not, that's fine too. Totally get in this economy, and your watch time, your like, your comment, and or subscription is enough already. Thank you. See you next time. Hopefully you enjoyed. Take it easy, and see you around.